The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Thank you for joining us today on FRC Media. I'm Keith Tebow. Time for our weekly conversation with the Mayor of Fall River, Mayor Paul Coogan, who joins us. Mayor, how are you this week?
I'm doing okay, Keith. How about you?
Doing well, getting toward the end of the unofficial end of summer, as Labor Day will be in a couple of weeks. And just got a couple things to touch on this week. First, last Friday, Governor Healy announced that there are potentially tentative agreements for the sale of 5 of the Steward healthcare hospitals across the Commonwealth, one, of course, being St. Anne's in Fall River. How involved have you and the city been at all throughout this process? I'm sure you're always in communication with the governor, but has there been any role in the city in terms of, a potential sale, which could potentially be to Lifespan in Rhode Island?
No, that's been above our pay grade. Obviously, we've had conversations about the going from a profit to a nonprofit hospital with the governor's office. But as far as the actual sale itself, obviously I heard Lifespan's name a number of times, along with a couple other hospital groups who were interested in it. But it worked out that it's Lifespan. I know they have a good reputation in Rhode Island. There's an affiliation with Brown University as a teaching hospital. So I'm hoping that all of the jobs at St. Anne's are preserved. They make the commitments necessary in the building to keep it a top shelf hospital. And at the same time, we don't lose jobs, and we'll work with them on what we can do with them in the city of Fall River to partner with their needs as a hospital. I mean, I know we have a good working relationship with South Coast with our ambulance service. We probably have the same thing with St. Anne's, but we want to make sure that continues with Lifespan, and we help each other to keep the people in Fall River healthy.
And since the onset of the bankruptcy announcement and Steward's intention to sell the hospitals, from what you understand, has it been pretty much business as usual at St. Anne's? I mean, I drive there quite often in traveling the city. It doesn't seem like there's a lack of traffic. I mean, what have you heard about how things have been going since that bankruptcy announcement?
Things I hear are mostly about shortages in a few parts once in a while, but most of the time it seems like everything's going along just the way it should be. I mean, I went down to the demonstration when the workers, the local union at St. Anne's were picketing to try to make sure they save the hospital. It seems like that's what's going to happen going forward. I mean, if Lifespan buys both Norton and Taunton and St. Anne's and Fall River, I think we can get a good partnership going with them. Obviously we wish them nothing but the best, but again, our focus would be on preserving the jobs in the city of Fall River and partnering with them to have a first-class hospital very similar to South Coast in the south end of the city.
Yeah, you had mentioned the difference between a profit and nonprofit. Obviously, Steward was a for-profit company, and that means there was some tax revenue for the city. What could the impact be if Lifespan were to take over and to be a nonprofit in terms of tax receipts for the city?
Well, I've been led to believe that we distribute the $1 million we got from Lifespan across the tax base, commercial tax base, so that we don't take the hit. But at the same time, we don't want to do that to our commercial partners now. So we'll look for whatever we can do to make sure we minimize the hit for any business, and especially for our Fall River businesses that do pay commercial taxes. We'll see how it plays out, what those numbers work out to specifically for each business, and we'll go from there. I mean, we have to keep the city running, and $1 million in our budget is a pretty big hit.
Yeah. All right. As we head toward the end of the summer, we've talked a lot about a lot of activity happening in Fall River in terms of events. There's actually 2 pretty big events that are happening in the city this weekend, and I'd like your comments on them. First, the Great Feast of the Holy Ghost, which has been a tradition in Fall River for many, many, many years, returns this weekend at Kennedy Park. A lot of tradition there. And how kind of an impact has that been for the city over the years? And what do you expect this year?
We expect big crowds. It's a very positive event in the city of Fall River. It obviously is a tradition. I usually make it down there 3 or 4 times, and I'll expect to do the same this year. And we'll march on Sunday from Santa Cristo. It's a very, very big event. It draws a ton of tourists. There's a ton of fun and activities, music, food, and a lot of religious ceremony goes along with it. It's a really, really special tradition. I hope everybody gets out and spend some time there, take a walk through, see what's going on, buy some stuff from the crafts people that are there, look at the exhibits. It's something to see, and if it really winds through the history of Fall River and the Portuguese culture that's here. We'd love to see it, Kennedy Park. You got all weekend to do it. It's going to be great weather, so stop by. That'd be really special.
Yeah, absolutely. The weather does look perfect right now through the weekend. Another big event that's being sponsored and run by the Narrows Center is going to be at the Norton City Pier. It's the Take Me to the River concert. And again, it's the Narrows has done this from time to time, provide these free musical events for the community to enjoy. Again, another good opportunity for people to see the waterfront, experience the waterfront, and hear some great music as well.
Absolutely. That's going to be a great event on Saturday. We have a bunch of big name bands coming down there. There'll be some food trucks. I guess there'll be some beverages served. It's going to be great weather, similar to what we just talked about for the feast. So we expect a big crowd for that also. It's going to be a very, very busy weekend in Fall River with all the other traditional things that go on. We ask people to get down and go to the Feast of Kennedy, or get down and go to Take Me to the River on Saturday at the Norton City Pier. You can walk down there. There's going to be some shuttles running around to make sure you get there. But we'd like people to go outside. It's obviously summer is wrapping up. And if you get an opportunity to join us at one of these great outdoor events, that would be special. And I hope to see you there.
Yeah. Actually, I do have one final question. Next week, we usually talk on Wednesdays. Next week, I have a conflict, so we're not going to be able to do this interview. But next Wednesday is the first day of school in Fall River. I know we talk about this a lot, how a special day it is for you, the parents, the teachers here in Fall River. What are you looking forward to next Wednesday when you meet kids going to school for the first time this year?
We look obviously the excitement of a new year. Every year starts off with a bunch of new students. I think we're up 300 or 400 kids in enrollment. I know some other districts are losing kids, but Fall River is growing. We anticipate a great year. We have a new superintendent. We have a bunch of new staff. I did get to go up yesterday and talk at the new teachers orientation, which was going on at Turfy High School. And, maybe it's because I'm getting older, but the teachers look younger every year, Keith. And it's really funny to see them, and they all are in the glow. I went to one table, which was just so happened to be a Teach for American table, and we had kids there from the state of Washington, Michigan, Maryland. They were all coming to go to work in the city of Fall River. We hope they stay. We hope they do a good job, and we hope the kids have a great year learning in the schools and participating in all the extracurriculars that are available to them. And let's get this show on the road next Wednesday. I can't wait to get going.
Yep. And I'm sure I'll see you out and about. I try to get to a couple schools on opening day, and hopefully we'll see you at one of those locations next week. All right, Mayor Coogan, as always, thank you for your time. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you, Keith. I appreciate it.
All right. And thank you for joining us here in FRC Media. Have a great week.